The Moon's Secret Path. Once upon a time, there was a curious little owl named Luna. Every night, she flew through the forest, wondering where the moonlight came from. One evening, Luna spotted a shimmering path leading into the clouds, bathed in soft, silvery light. Excited, she followed the path, soaring higher and higher until she reached the moon's doorstep. There, the moon smiled at her and said, "My light guides the night, but only the bravest can find my path." Luna felt proud. From then on, she guided lost travelers with the moon's light, knowing the secret no one else could see: the bear who wanted to dance. In a quiet woodland, there lived a big, gentle bear named Bruno. But Bruno had a dream. He wanted to dance like the squirrels and birds. One spring, as the forest prepared for the annual festival, Bruno decided to join in. He practiced twirling in the meadow, watching the leaves float like ballerinas. On the night of the festival, Bruno stepped onto the clearing. At first, the animals giggled, but as Bruno spun and swayed, his dance became magical, filled with joy and grace. By the end of the night, everyone was clapping for the bear who had always dreamed of dancing. The Star That Fell Asleep. High above, there was a star named Spark, who twinkled brighter than any other. But one night, Spark grew tired from shining for so long. "I just want to rest," he sighed. So, Spark slowly drifted down to Earth, landing softly in a little girl's garden. She found the sleepy star and gently placed him in her pocket. Each night, she whispered stories to Spark as he rested. When Spark felt strong again, he whispered, "Thank you," and rose back to the sky. From that night on, Spark shone even brighter, knowing he had a friend below who believed in him. The Adventure of the Little Raindrop. A tiny raindrop named Drip lived in a cloud, waiting for his turn to fall. One day, he finally felt the breeze pick him up, and down he went, tumbling through the sky. But instead of landing in a puddle, Drip fell right into a river. The river carried him past trees, rocks, and animals drinking water. He traveled far, meeting fish and frogs, until he reached the ocean. Drip was amazed by its vastness. As the sun warmed him, he floated back into the sky, where he knew his journey would begin again. Each drop a new adventure. The Fox and the Magic Lantern. In a distant village, there was a fox named Felix, who was known for being clever and quick. One evening, while exploring an old forest, Felix found a rusty lantern. When he rubbed it, a soft glow appeared. The lantern spoke. "I can light your way through any darkness, but only for one who seeks wisdom." Felix, always curious, decided to keep the lantern. Each night, it guided him to new places, forgotten caves, hidden glades, and ancient trees, teaching him secrets of the world. Over time, Felix became the wisest creature in the land, his path always illuminated by the magic lantern. The Sleepy Dragon's Quest. In a faraway land, there lived a dragon named Ember, who loved to sleep under the stars. But one night, Ember's dreams were troubled by a vision, a treasure hidden in the mountains that only a sleeping dragon could find. Determined, Ember set off on a quest, flying across forests and rivers until he reached the tallest mountain. There, in a hidden cave, Ember found the treasure. Not gold, but a magical pillow that promised the deepest, most peaceful sleep. With the pillow in his grasp, Ember returned home and slept soundly, his dreams now filled with endless adventure. The Enchanted Forest Whispers. In a small village, a young girl named Mira loved to explore the nearby forest. The villagers warned her to stay out after dark, but one evening, as the sun set, Mira heard whispers among the trees. Curiosity led her deeper into the woods, until she discovered a glowing tree at its center. The tree spoke, telling Mira that every 100 years, a child is chosen to listen to the forest's stories. Mira stayed by the tree all night, hearing tales of ancient times, forgotten kings, and magical creatures. By morning, she had become the keeper of the forest's secrets. The Sandcastle King. On a sunny island, a boy named Kai spent every day building sandcastles by the sea. One morning, he found a tiny crown buried in the sand. As he placed it on his head, something magical happened. His sandcastle transformed into a real castle, and Kai became the Sandcastle King. He ruled over a kingdom of seashell soldiers and crab courtiers. But as the tide began to rise, Kai realized that even kingdoms of sand must return to the sea. Smiling, he removed the crown, and the castle melted away, leaving only the sound of the waves to remember his brief reign. The Cloud Painter. In a sky full of clouds, one little cloud named Nimbus had a special gift. He could paint the sky with colors. While other clouds floated by, Nimbus would dip his fluffy edges into the sunlight, creating sunsets of gold, pink, and purple. But one day, a storm came, and Nimbus was blown far from his favorite sky. Lost and gray, Nimbus felt he could no longer paint. Then, from below, a child's voice called out, "Look at the beautiful sky." Nimbus realized his gift was still there, no matter where he drifted. From that day on, he painted skies all around the world. The brave little mouse and the moon. Every night, a little mouse named Nib would watch the moon from his burrow. He always wondered what it would be like to touch the moon. One evening, Nib decided he would try. He gathered pieces of cheese from the village and stacked them high, making a tall ladder. Climbing higher than he ever had, Nib reached the top and stretched his paw toward the moon. Though he couldn't quite touch it, the moon glowed brighter, as if smiling down at him. Nib knew then that even the smallest creature could dream big, and that the moon was always watching over him. The Garden of Talking Flowers. In a forgotten garden behind an old mansion, there grew a patch of flowers with a secret. They could talk. One rainy day, a boy named Leo discovered the garden while seeking shelter. As the rain pattered down, the flowers began to whisper stories of ancient lands, hidden treasures, and wise old trees. Fascinated, Leo returned every day, learning the wisdom of the flowers. He soon realized that the flowers weren't just telling stories. They were teaching him to listen to the world around him. With their guidance, Leo grew to be a kind and thoughtful boy, never forgetting the lessons of the talking flowers. The Night Train to Dreamland. At the edge of the city, there was a train station where only one train ran. The Night Train to Dreamland. Every night at midnight, children who couldn't sleep would board the train, driven by an owl conductor named Mr. Hoot. The train sailed through the stars, visiting magical places where dreams were born. Some nights they visited candy forests, other nights they flew over crystal oceans. One night, a boy named Sam boarded the train, feeling lonely. By the time the train returned at dawn, Sam had made friends with dream creatures and realized that dreams were never lonely. They were full of wonder and adventure.